So with whatever Hindi I knew and learned from movies, I said, "मेरी बीवी को जाके पूछो." What I was trying to tell them was, "मेरी दीदी को जाके पूछो," and I didn't even know, and they were rolling on the ground laughing.
The World Cup bowl out, India versus Pakistan.
So I went to MS and I said, "Bro, I got a bowl," and he thought about it for a second or two, and he said, "Okay, bowl." And that's the one thing led to the other. But someone called my mum and told my mum that it's a very bad number.
What?
All natural disasters apparently happen on the 26th.
UVK Cricket Diary, only on Radio City.
All right, this is a brand new chapter in UV's Cricket Diary. I have with me number 77 of the Indian jersey, Robin Uthappa. Robin, welcome to UV's Cricket Diary.
Thank you, Yuvi. Thank you so much.
All right, my two very fond visual memories of Robin Uthappa could be one, you going to the bowler aggressively, attacking him and whacking him over. The second was against Pakistan when you bowled,
bowl out.
and the applause, that the way you received the applause. Was 2007 a year of mixed emotions with you firstly losing the 50 over World Cup,
Yeah, man.
and then coming back and doing this wonder in the inaugural Cup?
Well, yeah, I was honestly. And I was 20 years old when that happened, and I just made a comeback into the Indian team early 2007, so Feb 2007. Based on those performances, I got picked into the Indian World Cup side. So I came completely from left field, as in I think I pipped I think Gauti into that World Cup side, and it didn't go as planned, and obviously it went very badly for us. And as a youngster, I actually thought my career is over, dude. And I thought, oh man, never going to play for India again, because the kind of animosity we were received with, nobody goes out there to lose, but one thing led to the other, and it was just bad stuff that happened one after the other, and we ended up losing. And then after that, we were on the receiving end for so long. And for me, I remember at that period after that World Cup, I don't think I left home for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I just stayed at home.
Was it that scary?
No, more than scary, it was you start thinking about a lot of stuff, and you start thinking about where it's all going. Because suddenly, for me, from my perspective, I was a youngster who's gotten the Indian side, and suddenly felt like, oh, they might just not look at youngsters anymore, and might just go for experience. Because we've kind of let them down, and you felt lost, and I felt lost for a few weeks, and everyone was upset, everyone was not happy, but I remember, I think the only time I went out at that point was maybe on a Sunday to church or something, but otherwise I never went out for about 3 weeks. And then they announced the Bangladesh tour that happened subsequently after that, immediately after the World Cup, because there was no IPL at that point in time.
Right.
So and when I got picked for that, I felt like, okay, I'm in the scheme of things, but I had to wait a long time before I got my next game. As in, I think I went to Bangladesh, and then I went to Kenya and Zimbabwe for an A tour, and then came back to England, where we played that NatWest series, which I sat out for about 5 games and got a game in the end. And then was the World Cup team was announced while we were in England, so you knew we were going to play the World Cup. And then we went to the T20 World Cup, where all the magic happened.
So 2007 World Cup is the first time this format is being played at such a big level. Can you prepare? Because there is no anecdote to look forward to, and a stuff that you can follow, that this is the approach, this is how we're going to go.
So fortunately for me, I had played one T20 tournament. It was conducted by KSCA. It was called the Bradman Cup. That happened in 2005, I think. So 5 or 6 happened, and so I played that. So I had an inkling, but you didn't know, because it was at such a nascent stage in international cricket. You didn't know how to kind of approach the game. But what was really nice is, I think as a group we came together and said, we've never played this version, or we've hardly played this version. Let's try and learn as we go, and let's try and really enjoy each other's company. And that's what we did in that tournament. We just really enjoyed each other's company. We enjoyed each other's success, and we just went out there and took one game at a time, I think, which was crucial, which helped us win.
Everyone who's Robin Uthappa's fan wants to know the way you used to approach the bowler down the pitch. Did you pick it up from somewhere? Was it like a conscious effort? How did it come
Well, I think
to
my
you?
inspiration is Matthew Hayden. But Matthew Hayden was a He was a huge personality, right? 6'5". When you have a guy like him walking down the wicket, it's intimidating. But for me, I found that really impressive, and I felt like it's something that I could just add to my repertoire. And when I was sitting out in England, not playing matches, I said, let me just use this time to prepare for the T20 World Cup. And I said, I want to come up with something new. And so at practice, I spent hours just practicing these shots. But the inspiration is Hidos, but I try to put my own touch to it and try to do it in a way that's most natural to me. And after a lot of hours of practice, I was able to pull it off. And then I said my final test would be if I can pull it off against our Indian top fast bowlers at that one-day series. So there's Ajit Agarkar, Srishant.
In the nets?
Yeah, Zach Bai, all of these guys. If I could pull it off with these guys, then I know that, I can use it in the match.
How was it then in the nets?
I was able to use it against them.
Was everyone surprised? What is this?
They were, especially Zach Bai was extremely supportive because I think he really took to the way I was playing at that point, and I think I kind of impressed him and a few of the seniors, which gave me that game in the Oval, which I was able to perform and win for us in that series and level the series. So for me, they received the way I played very, very well in a positive way, which gave me that much more of a confidence boost, and I was able to take that. In fact, the first time I played those shots was in that NatWest game in Oval in 2007. It was a little edgy then, but I kind of refined it a little bit more, and I got it going, and it worked in South Africa.
The World Cup bowl out, India versus Pakistan. What delivery were you bowling the third ball, second ball?
I was just bowling straight. I draw a lot of inspiration from my fellow cricketers. So growing up, I loved Sachin Paji's bowling action, and I felt okay if I ever bowl, gentle medium pace, or if I just want to bowl, and I don't know what I want to bowl, I'll bowl like Paji.
Did you go and ask for the ball, or Dhoni said that you were bowling the second ball?
No. I went and asked for the ball.
Yeah.
Because I've told this story so many times. It's a dead horse that I'm beating over and over again.
We will have to listen to that.
But yeah, so. It was so we used to practice this a lot during the T20 World Cup. So we would do a batsman versus bowlers kind of thing, and in that I'd be one of the batters who did the stumps more often. So when the match got tied, and I was riding high on confidence because I just got in a 50 against Pakistan, and I was feeling really good about myself. And so when the bowl out came, I have to bowl. So I went to MS and I said, bro, I got to bowl. And he thought about it for a second or two, and he said, "Okay, bowl." And that's the one thing led to the other. And
did you plan the way you will receive the applause?
No, I didn't.
It happened.
It just happened very spontaneously. And I did it, and I kind of bowed towards MS, and then I heard the crowd go, woof, and then I was like, yeah.
So it was to MS first.
Yeah. First I went straight, and then I went clockwise or something. Yeah.
So Robin Uthappa started off with jersey number 7-7, went to 3-7, came back to 7-7. We know the 7-7 story, but why the flip and back?
Oh, I've been with a few numbers. So when I started my career, I picked 26 as my number, my debut game. But someone called my mum and told my mum that it's a very bad number.
What?
All natural disasters apparently happen on the 26th. And all kind of everything that all these natural stuff that happens on numbers that add up to 26 or the 26th. So mom was like, cover that number. So somehow covered that number up for my debut game. Then I was like, I want to have a number of my own, and I love the number 7 because I think it's the number of creation. I'm born on the 11th, so I said 7 into 11, and I went 77 initially. Then I did 77 for a while. I did 99 for RCB. I did 17 for Pune Warriors, and then 17 again because one part of me, one part of creation, and then I did 7. So 17, and then I did 37 because I was advised to do 37. Someone said, based on your numerology, this is a very good number, so why didn't you give it a shot? So I did 37 for a long time.
It worked for you?
Yeah, it did. And then so when I was coming to the end of my Indian career, I decided I want to go back to 77, and then I went back to 77 with CSK. And yeah, and so if I don't get number 7, so it's like this, right? I think when you get into a team, you're supposed to give 2 numbers. So I give 77 and 37. So whichever is available, happy to use one of them.
Super. Robbie, if there's one innings that you would want to keep with yourself, would it be the debut 86, I suppose? The ODI debut? Would it be that one, or would it be a 50 against Pakistan in the World Cup?
Man, I've had so many. For a relatively short career, I've had quite a few good innings. I've played a few innings that have added value to the team in getting victories. So for me, I feel those ones that add value to the team that brings the team victories is what means a lot to me. So obviously the Pakistan 50 in the T20 World Cup, because we were 20 for 4, and from that position to be able to get a partnership with MS and win that game was very meaningful to me. At 47 in Oval was very meaningful to me. I remember the CB series I opened with Sachin Paji, and we both the finals we had about 9. One was a 97-run partnership, and then one was a 98-run partnership. That means a lot to me. So I think those are the games that mean a lot to me. And I had a comeback game against just before that 2007 World Cup in West Indies. I scored a 70 odd of 32 balls or something against West Indies in a one-dayer. That as well is something that I remember of fondly. So I've had quite a few with the Indian team. I've had a bunch in the IPL. So all the ones that have.
You've been with Dhoni for a long time when the 2020 World Cup started, etc. Everyone talks about Dhoni as a captain, the way he thinks, standing behind the wickets. What are your thoughts? How is he different from possibly any other captain of the same generation?
He's just different.
Wow.
He's genuinely built differently. He is the I think the epitome of stoicism. He's very, very stoic. He's very calm, very clear, so very concise. He's the kind of guy that when he speaks, everyone will listen to him. He carries that energy, but is also an extremely simple person, very self-aware, very present. So that's one thing, when you sit down with him, you'll realize how present he is as a person. It's just, I think he's a very gifted human being. And he recognizes that, and very, very humble. A lot of humility about him.
Does he answer your calls also, or he doesn't?
He's moody about that. That's one thing I think he hasn't gotten around. He's very old-fashioned in that sense. So he'll pick it up. I think the only time he goes to gadgets is when he's playing a game, or either it's PS or he's playing. What is the Indian version of PUBG? Yeah, so and I think that Indian, I don't know what it's called. I can't remember, but I think I think only to play those kind of, even that stuff is him exercising, him being present in the present. Right? So I think he's just a different person. Yeah, as in, there's only one of him.
There's one name I'm going to take. He's not a cricketer. He was a cricketer. Do you remember Hardy Sandhu?
Yes, I do.
So Robin Uthappa gave him the name Hardy. Do you remember that story?
Oh, this must be in the NCA.
Do you remember his full name?
No, I don't.
Hardevinder Singh Sandhu.
Hardevinder Singh, yeah.
So Hardevinder Singh Sandhu came and you guys were playing together. And Hardy tells me that because you are a South Indian, it was very difficult for you to pronounce the name. Hardevinder Singh. It always used to be Har. And somewhere, and he gave me the nickname. He says Hardy.
Yeah, I was very adept at giving people nicknames. I've given a lot of friends nicknames, like Manoj Tiwari. I would call him Mani, and that literally became his nickname. I think with Hardy, the same thing happened. I come up with unique nicknames, and I end up, it ends up sticking.
I want you to pronounce the name together. Hardevinder.
Right now, I can. I'll tell you. So growing up, I had a huge difficulty. I learned Hindi watching Hindi movies, and practicing. And I have to give a lot of credit to RP Singh, because when I first played under 17 India, we played together, and that's when I first met all of my closest friends in the game. I would spend hours with RP, because RP was from Raebareli, and he'd speak impeccable Hindi. And I was like, man, if I speak Hindi, I want to speak like him. So I would spend a lot of time with him, asking him to teach me the right way to pronounce and the enunciations and all of that. and he would help me a lot. So that's literally how I learned to speak Hindi, and a lot of practice. And I watch a lot of Hindi movies. I remember when I was growing up, I had my dad's friend. My dad was in hockey, right? So I had dad's friends come over, and they spent a couple of weeks with us from Jalandhar. So their kids also would come. So we were playing with them, and then they said, "Yaar, pani chahiye." So so with whatever Hindi I knew and learned from movies, I said, "Meri biwi ko jaake pucho." What I was trying to tell them was, "Meri didi ko jaake pucho," and I didn't even know, and they were rolling on the ground laughing, you know. But you live and learn. You make mistakes, and that's how I learned, and I learned to laugh at myself about it. And so even when I make mistakes, so I think when Hardvinder and I were together in the NCA, we were what, 17, 19 maybe, under 17, under 19. So I was clearly struggling with pronouncing these words, right? His names and those and the accent in which and the way in which they pronounced his name. So for me, Hardy just seemed easier. So like Hardy.
Are you in touch with him? Do you follow him?
No, I follow him. Of course I do. I follow him.
He's a big star in.
I know.
Okay.
I watch a lot of his music. My son enjoys a lot of his music, so I watch on YouTube and all that. But no, man, unfortunately, not in touch. Would love to get in touch.
We'll surely get this message to you.
Yeah, please do.
Thank you. All right, this is a quick rapid fire, Robbie. I'm going to take the jersey name because jersey names are a thing with you.
Sure.
You're going to tell me the player. This is the 2007 World Cup winning squad, which you were also part of.
Wow.
All right,
Okay.
let's begin. Jersey number 5.
Gautam Gambhir.
Yuvraj Singh,
12.
Yusuf Pathan.
Oh, 27.
Yeah, 27. Harbhajan Singh.
3.
3 is the correct number. In that series, he was 35
He was 30.
for a reason. Okay. Rohit Sharma.
45.
Wow. Ajit Agarkar.
Ajit Pai was 50. No? 55? 55 No?
I'll give one to you. 68.
Right. Yeah, he was 60.
All right. Sreesanth.
9. No, wait. I cannot get this wrong. Wait. I know. 36. What the heck am I thinking about?
Yes. RP Singh.
RP Singh was 30? No? 20? No. Wait.
The last single digit number.
9.
Yeah.
RP was 9.
RP was 9. Dinesh Karthik.
Oh man, I don't remember DKs. 21?
Only one.
Only one, yeah.
Fantastic. But he takes about 70-75% of it. Thank you so much, Robbie.
No, my pleasure, man.
Thank
My
you.
absolute pleasure, UV. Hi, I'm Robin Uthappa on UV's Cricket Diary on Radio City.
UV Key Cricket Diary. Only on Radio City.